What they found was if you sit within 25 feet of a high performer, your own performance improves by 15%. But if you sit within 25 feet of a low performer, your own performance decreases by 30%. This means that our negative emotions are more contagious, that if you're around people who are low performers, whatever that means to you, who have negative cues, who are feeling anxious or tired or low confident, you could catch those cues and that affects your own performance. This is why it is incredibly critical to invest in the 5 people who you spend the most time with. You want to make sure those 5 people are the cues you want to catch. Do you like the cues they're sending? Do they give you the right motivation, feelings? Do they make you feel liked? Do they make you a better version of yourself?
I want you to imagine this. Let's just say I am holding a mirror up to my face and I'm staring at this mirror, but nothing about my facial expression is changing. I'm just staring at it. And the longer that I stare at this mirror, the more that I realize I kind of want the reflection to look back at me differently. But instead of changing my expression, I'm just wiping down the mirror, I'm twisting it, I'm throwing it on the floor, and still, what's looking back at me is not changing. And why is nothing changing? Because I didn't change my expression first. And now, this isn't about you changing the smile or the frown on your face to create your dream life. It's about changing what causes everything that you experience in your external world, which is your internal world. The life that you live within your mind will absolutely be reflected to you in reality every single time.
How we got fooled during the Artemis launch. Watch for the camera switch in 3, 2, 1. You can clearly see the video on the left is a balloon, and the video on the right is hard plastic or PVC type material. Also, you can see the sparks being shot in an upward position. They are clearly not coming out of the rocket. Do you get it now?
9, 8.
So I was looking at the so-called R25 boosters before the camera switch, and I noticed a few things. First, these are not sparks, it's clearly water being sprayed into the air with a bright light behind it. But then I looked closer and found a number starting with D7. So after much research, I realized the secret behind the launch. D7 is a type of helium tank, the same tanks they use to send weather balloons into the stratosphere, and when they get high enough they pop.
One reported incident, a damaged cylinder penetrated 2 sheet metal walls before becoming airborne and exiting through the roof. The tank reached an altitude of 100.
This is a photo of the Earth taken from the Artemis II, exactly 12 hours after the first photo of the Earth was taken. Do you notice anything? It's literally the exact same photo, the exact same cloud patterns, and Africa is in the exact same position. I thought the Earth was rotating at 1,000 miles per hour. Not only that, it's orbiting the sun at 66,000 miles per hour. All of that movement through outer space, and the Artemis II managed to take a picture of the Earth in the exact same position.
We initially thought GLP-1s like Ozempic, tirzepatide, and retatrutide just reduced food cravings. Now we know they work for alcohol, cocaine, gambling, and other addictions too. But do you know what runs on exactly the same circuit? Falling in love. GLP-1 receptors sit in the exact same brain regions that light up when you're in love. The insane thing about them is that they don't just suppress appetite, they suppress wanting in general, including romantic craving another person. Something like 60 million people are now on
It is the highest high.
We're going to the moon.
15 years of flying, folks, praying that I get to see something like this. You don't see this every day. They're going around the moon. I flew down to Florida, I don't know how many times, half a dozen times, to see that space shuttle take off in my day, and always canceled. And here, front row seat.
You can zoom in and do like the 3D and look at the city and everything. But my issue is that when you zoom out and you go into outer space, this Earth that we live on turns into a cartoon. This is a cartoon now. Where's the real Earth? Oh, that's right. Space ain't a real place. That's why this camera doesn't go into outer space. In fact, I'm going to show you right now where these images come from.
It's not that they wouldn't use the magical floating satellites if they could. It's that they don't physically exist, nor does the globe. They have been sending these up one at a time since it all began. I will allow them to explain it.
It's also the genesis for NASA's newly developed super pressure balloon.
The reason for super pressure ballooning is they have absolutely stable altitude day night, and it doesn't matter how cold the atmosphere is. They are sealed.
So your shape is always the same, you always displace the same.
Tous les films Disney commencent par un choc traumatique. Parents morts, absents, tués, pour que l'enfant soit seul, isolé, prêt à être recruté. 80% des héros sont orphelins. Simba, Mowgli, Tarzan, Bambi, Nemo, Cendrillon, Blanche-Neige, tous seuls dès le départ. Le concept est toujours le même, briser la famille pour fabriquer des proies faciles. C'est le scénario de Lilo et Stitch, où un agent spécial vient la récupérer.
You don't look like a social worker.
I'm a special classification.
Did you ever kill anyone?
Avec ce symbole de pizza sur le sèche-linge. Partout la même captivité, Nemo dans un bocal, Pinocchio dans une cage. C'est du trauma programming pour enfants. Parce que Disney est une opération de contrôle mental de masse pour faciliter l'accès aux kidnappeurs. Walt travaillait avec le FBI, il était membre de Demolay et a créé Reedy Creek avec la CIA, un gouvernement privé pour Disney World.
If NASA truly went to the moon, what fuel did the rover use? In a place where fuel can't even burn, engines need oxygen to ignite. NASA admits the moon has none. So, how did the rover power its wheels? They claim it ran on electric batteries. But you know, batteries die quickly in extreme temperatures. Lunar day reaches over 200 degrees, and night drops to minus 200. Did NASA secretly build super batteries in the 70s that today's tech still can't match? And if they did, where are they now? Why isn't every electric car using lunar rover technology? Picture driving a go-kart across a frozen desert with no air, no wind, and temperature swings that can fry an egg and freeze a lake. Now imagine NASA says they pulled it off perfectly, 50 years ago, on their first try. Even modern vehicles struggle in harsh weather, yet the lunar rover supposedly cruised
your top speed, 25,000 miles per hour. 25,000 miles per hour. $25,000 miles per hour.
Talk about Easter. The name Easter doesn't come from the Bible. It comes from Ishtar, the ancient goddess of fertility, spring, the symbols of eggs and bunnies. They're both fertility symbols used in pagan rituals thousands of years before Christianity. In ancient Babylon, Ishtar was worshipped during the spring equinox. Her followers worshipped the resurrection of her love, Tammuz. Easter ain't about no resurrection. It's about reproduction, rebirth, and the divine feminine, which was later demonized by the patriarchal religions. Even the timeline don't match. Easter is based on moon cycles, not a fixed date, just like ancient goddess festivals. The church just rebranded like they always do, always taking and twisting some shit up.
I haven't eaten food for 16 days and I'm not hungry. Do you want to know why? Because I'm burning out demons from my body. You ever seen a parasite underneath a microscope? This is what it looks like. Yeah, I'm being serious. It ain't just a physical thing, it's a spiritual thing. You see these religious texts? They're always talking about demons. You want to know what else to talk about as well? Fasting. Put the two together. If you fast, you remove your demons. These things are flying at me every single day. And you know what a demon does? It affects the way you feel, it affects your mood, it affects the way you're thinking. Almost like you're possessed in it. That's what parasites do. Same thing. Same thing. And we're all walking around with them in us. Of course they ain't going to tell you that. Why would they want to tell you that? They're making their bread. They're making bank from you being ill. Bank? They ain't going to tell you that. Come on now. We all have a little bit of money. Come on. Not in the unrighteous way though, you know what I'm trying to say? I'm telling you the truth, bro. It's physical and spiritual works. It's all one thing. I'm active. I'm not hungry. I'm not tired. Brain fog, no. Nah, man, the brain fog was on day 3 when the parasites were dying. They were starving. They were like, give me my food.
The reason you feel temptation for certain things and certain sins is very specific to what you're supposed to do. If you have the urge to smoke or damage your lungs, it's because your voice was meant to worship and be heard and the enemy is trying to silence you. If you have crippling self-doubt and insecurity, it's because you are meant to lead and inspire. If you weren't dangerous to darkness, it wouldn't try to mute your confidence. If you have constant distraction or procrastination, it's because you carry strategy, vision, and ideas from heaven. The enemy delays you because he can't stop you, only you can. If you have an addiction to lust or pornography, it's because you carry a deep capacity for intimacy, covenant, and healing. Perverting love is how Satan prevents true restoration. If you have fear of rejection or abandonment, it's because you carry a spirit of belonging and reconciliation. You were made to gather the outcast, so he tries to make you feel like one.
Holy fuck, chat. Palm Beach Pete and Epstein have the exact same speech impediment and stutter on the word F. Watch this.
And some knucklehead films me, and the next thing I know,
perpetrating one of the largest frauds in South Florida's history.
What?